Hi, I'm TJ.
Hi, how are you? TJ?
Good, yeah, I'm TJ. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for being Hey guys.
So who do we have here?
We got Darby.
Hey, Darby.
Look at your friend.
Now let's see how he greets people normally. Okay, not bad. He's sniffing. Okay, good, good. Oh, good boy. Look at the good job. Girl, sorry.
No worries. She's
The
on
last
her
one.
best behavior.
The last one that I had was a chocolate lab named Fudge.
Oh,
so
cute.
gonna have to try not to. Yeah, gonna have to try to call her good girl for a while.
That's our.
Oh, that was great.
Hi, good.
All right, problem solved.
Good, yeah.
Does she have any allergies?
Nope, no allergies. Darby, look at your new friend. That's sweet.
She's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and while it's not like pouring out, we'll do a little bit of the walking behavior and then we'll go inside.
Okay.
Yeah, she is around other people and things.
Let's go.
And then, of course, during the evaluation, feel free to try to, point out anything in particular. Oh, there's some
Okay, yeah.
that you need worked on or would like adjusted. Just looking over the list, most of the things look like they'll probably be pretty accomplishable. The only thing is sometimes, I think it was when seeing another pup and laying down.
Yeah.
I know a lot of dogs that are more on the submissive end will do that, and some dogs that are very playful will do that as well. I think the only thing that I might want to point out is sometimes to get a dog to calm down when meeting another dog, if that's not their kind of general personality to lay down, sometimes all that does, and just having them sit still, all that does is like compress that energy like a spring.
Okay.
And so they get even more uppity as the dog gets closer. So sometimes what I'll do instead is have them kind of focus, follow me, move around, like do a circle or things like that to get some of that energy out. That's the only thing. Like I said, we'll evaluate her behavior and it might work for her, but the other way might be a little bit better.
Okay.
Because I think that's like the ultimate goal is you just want her to kind of stay calm as they're approaching, right? It's just, sometimes it's easier for pups if they can, at least move around, go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah. Kind of like direct their attention elsewhere.
Yeah, just get some of that energy out and keep redirecting as opposed to just like having her lay there and she's like hard staring at the other dog,
You see yourself. That's a pretty dog. That's a pretty dog.
And then I said she's driving her sibling crazy.
Oh,
hi, how you doing?
There's
the
Darby.
jumping.
Oh, there we go. Sorry. See, proof. Thanks. They get along like better and better every day, but she definitely will do the ear biting and the, a little bit of hard chasing, like kind of try to, lunge at her when they're running and stuff that she doesn't do as much with other dogs.
Gotcha.
I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is she good at correcting her behavior, or does she kind of let her get bullied by it?
Both, honestly. Yeah, the other one's a little bit more submissive, so she'll lash out like 1 out of every 5 times.
Gotcha.
Do you want to go potty?
So what'll help with that too is just socializing her, because usually they pick up those behaviors and those corrections when they're playing among peers or with their parents, right? So we have to try to substitute that as much as possible, and it's good for us to kind of step in and help out, but especially since she's still a puppy, we want her to actually learn from her other peers a little bit more. So we'll probably do some trips to the dog park. I have my pack and things like that, and they're really good about correcting puppies. So that should hopefully help on that front. And sometimes it's just if like one is an older pup and calmer and one is a younger puppy, sometimes it's just going to take a while for them to kind of mesh.
Yeah, they're getting more and more used to each other.
That's good.
And then I think we said
but she does get going like when she gets kind of hyper. She's just hard to stop.
Let's keep going.
So she gets like
calm down. Okay, and that's something we can definitely work on, because a lot of times with puppies, like things like impulse control, overexcitement, kind of controlling themselves is going to be a big part of the agenda. So we can definitely work on that, and that's actually pretty easy enough, at least for people to do. Because what I'll usually do is I'll just play with her, and then I'll calm her down, like a switch, play with her, calm her down.
Okay.
So she learns to kind of turn herself on and off as I'm playing and then as I'm stopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then we kind of just treat or mark those moments when she stops, and then usually you can just reward by starting to play again.
Gotcha.
But then like when you want to stop, you stop, and she learns to pick up on it. And so it becomes like a game itself.
Yeah.
That she still wants to play, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to be the case for most things when it comes to puppies, is just trying to figure out how to make it a fun game for them to like want to stay engaged and want to play with, things like that. The recall will build a positive association with.
Right.
The heel walk may take a little bit more time. We're going to start with loose leash walking, and then we're going to go for tighter heels as we go, because especially with puppies, we want them to be able to explore the environment. I think the main thing with that is just getting their attention back.
Darby,
right?
Darby, look. Good girl. Good girl.
Right. So usually that's going to be the problem that we're going to be working on for like heel work, is like that requires a really high level of attention and control.
Okay.
And extended focus.
Darby,
right.
Look. Good girl.
So right now, right,
Girl.
check in, check right back, check in, check right back out. So what we'll probably work on is just holding that focus until we release it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I think what you were saying about impulse control is a big thing for her. Like also, not just with playing, but with
The counter surfer.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a loss of a lot of muffins the other day.
It's gonna be a little bit harder because she's already picked up on like, if she does this thing that is wrong, she's still gonna be rewarded for it. So we're gonna teach her, you know, to try to control herself with our presence and then without our presence. And then some of that too is gonna be kind of your work at home.
Yeah.
You know, especially as soon as she gets back, not just leaving high value items out for her unattended for extended periods of time or at all. I know it's hard sometimes for like families with kids, multiple people living in the home, things like that. But you'll want to keep in mind for the dog safety's sake that a lot of things, I wouldn't say a lot, that some things that we eat can't be ingested by them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like garlic, onions, grape peels, things like that, certain nuts. So it'd be good to actually get into a really good habit of clearing and keeping surfaces clear too. So it'll be more of like we'll meet in the middle. We'll teach her how to leave it. Right. We'll have you guys do actual formal exercises, have her grow up with that, and then, you know, maybe we'll get to the magical kind of YouTube thing when they leave a burger all alone at a table when you walk out of the living room.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of practice, and even that's most of the time pretty staged too.
Yeah.
You know, the parents just don't like leave it on and they just walk away. You know, you kind of build up to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go. More excitement.
And God knows how many burgers they've lost.
Yeah, exactly. And the dog's just too full. And they're like, I don't even want that.
Right, yeah.
Okay, I know there's people.
Hi, how you doing?
There's people.
She's very excited.
Okay, good girl, Darby.
Good girl.
Okay, that's nice.
Right?
And then the other thing is down. She doesn't get it. Like sit. She calls it sit.
Good sit.
Good. Sit. Oh, yeah. That. She don't want. Okay. And then down. She just doesn't get down at all.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
We'll try to work on it. So part of the problem here is she's topping up because she thinks there's a treat and she's trying to get to it. So it goes to that impulse control thing again. And then we'll start on like a softer surface. But usually, usually it's because they just try to move forward or their butt comes up. Yeah. Right? So what I'll do is, instead of pressing the back end down, I'll lower my other hand when I don't have a camera with it. And so that way it prevents her from popping that part up, and it's almost more comfortable for her to lay flat.
Okay.
Here, let's go over here. Maybe Dad can help out on that. That's okay. So right, she's just going for it. She's just going for it. We're gonna wait for her to give up.
You might take off.
That's okay. Good. There you go.
Good, Darby.
Right. So she knows what she needs to do. It's just that, like I said, that puppy impulse of, oh, let me get it, let me get it.
Yeah.
So sometimes, especially with puppies when it comes to training, giving them that time to actually give up, process what they should and shouldn't be doing, and then reward accordingly, as opposed to telling them to stay off, to leave it, to sit, all that stuff. So like commands are good when we need them, but like obstinate training or kind of habitual training is going to be better. It'll be kind of like having an older dog, you know, because everything's so routine. Right?
Yeah, true.
So let's try that again. And we'll get Dad's help if she's not too sick. Good girl. Now go ahead and hold your hand over her where her butt is. Yeah, and now don't press down or anything, but just make it so she can't go up higher. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
There you go. Good girl. Good girl. There you go.
Nice.
Yeah, and it'll just be practice from there.
Wow.
Love it.
Good job.
Yeah, she's super, super, super smart. So
it's usually one or the other. It's usually because the butt keeps going up or the dog keeps kind of popping forward. But that's an easy way to kind of control the two.
That's good. Good girl, Darby.
Okay, that one shouldn't be too bad.
Good girl. Ah, I think we got no more treats in the hand.
And we're not gonna, we'll do it when we drop her off with the stuff at my place, because there's gonna be like more of an open field. Well, I guess we could also do it back here too. It's up to you guys. I don't know how much time that you have, because I know
we're free.
you spent a lot in traffic.
I know.
I had to rearrange my.
Oh, you did? Okay,
yeah, it's
sorry about that. Yeah,
it's awful. It happens. Luckily, I still had Wednesday open, so we just moved them to Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because I didn't want to rush too much here too. Yeah.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
No problem.
Okay.
Who's that, huh?
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So
look at me, good girl. That's good.
Good. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other things.
Oh, I don't know. Last night, I mean, at the dog park, she just like went off on her merry way. Like, wasn't listening to us when we were trying to leave. Like,
that's
a comment, I'm sure, but
yeah, that's like the Super Bowl of recall right there.
Totally.
And we'll work our way up to it. The main reasons why is because like when she's off leash and you don't have any kind of consequence for kind of pulling her back.
Yeah.
And then she has that choice of like just staying and playing with her friends or listening to mom. You know, you have to really get her to want to listen.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of make the correct choice. And then also the distance is usually a big problem, because the further that there are away from us, the more distractions are in the way that they, you know, even through the smells, and also the recall isn't as strong because you have to really yell just to be heard. All those things are makes that kind of environment really, really hard, especially if there's a new dog that comes in and now they're excited and they want to play and you're ready to leave.
Totally.
So there's a lot working against you in that kind of place. How's her recall back at home?
Good, pretty good. So, like half and half. And then there's like a smaller dog park that we go to where it's also like better. But yeah, last night, like you said, it was like a bigger space, lots of dogs. She was having a blast.
She does. Like she knows her name, and she knows like what. I think she knows what she should do.
Okay.
But it's just a matter of.
Right. Is she more interested in the smell than coming back to mom and dad?
Darby, come, good girl. Come.
Almost. So let's do a quick test on that. I'll take the lead, and we'll wait till she's distracted, like she is right now, and we'll have mom go ahead and say just her name once,
Darby,
and see what she does. Very good.
Yep. Good girl.
All right, now we'll try again here. Now that she's looking at me, just say her name once.
Darby.
Nothing, right? So no twitch of the ears, no turning around. All right, we'll have dad say her name once.
Darby.
Right? So we gotta really work on that name recognition. When she hears that particular sound of her name, like really getting her that twitch response. Because if she's already kind of checked out and you can't get her attention, then it's really hard to give her a command. I find a lot of my clients, they kind of rapid fire the command. They tell the dog to come, or they tell the dog to sit, but they actually don't have their attention yet, right? So really getting her that first part and developing that, and then everything else should be a little bit easier. So we'll definitely need to do a little bit of name recognition.
Darby.
Very good. Almost. She kind of popped up.
Yeah.
It was mostly just to move on to the next scent, right? So go back this way, and then just say her name once.
Darby.
Right. So next time when she's kind of smelling something, go ahead and just kind of give her a pet or a tap on the butt or something, and then say her name.
Darby. That's
Good.
right.
There you go.
That's my friend. Good girl. Good girl.
Good. And what we're doing there is we're using touch to help pull her away from her distraction, and then we use the name to reassociate with like giving us her attention for that reward or the pets.
We're having fun.
You almost have to treat her as if she's deaf until you're 100% sure she knows and recognizes her name.
Yeah.
Because until that point, you can say anything and it won't matter.
Right.
You know? Womp womp.
Yeah. Rock.
Right. See. Right. Car. Good car. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I'll go.
Darby. See.
Yeah.
There we go. Good job.
Yeah.
She's like, what? Me? Yes, that's you.
People.
So we're gonna just really try to like build a positive association with her name.
Yeah.
It sounds really basic, but a lot of times we'll have problems with a lot of things just because she doesn't have that ability to kind of get her attention or focus. Hi, how you doing? You friendly? You wanna say hi? Good girl.
Very friendly.
Oh, good girl. Good girl. Good job. She's like, yeah, this is great.
How old is
Oh.
7 months.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I'm proud of you for not taking one home.
Oh,
right?
she brought it home.
Thank you.
Oh, you
She
did.
only has 3.
Okay.
Nice.
Only 7 months old. She was.
Yeah.
Sure you want that? I bet she would eat just 2/3 a cup of food though.
Have a good one. That was good.
Okay.
Hi, good girl. That was good.
Girl darn.
She's gonna be very popular, and that'll be at least the easy part about having a puppy. That they're usually a lot easier to socialize and practice certain things with. Whereas like later on, if they're big and then they're jumpy, it's a little bit harder.
Yeah.
So really trying to kind of catch that up.
I hope that this is the perfect age. Smart.
Hi.
Does our tone of voice like change things? Like if we're like I'm more stern.
Depends on the pup.
Yeah.
The last dog that was boarding Loki was actually a really good example because he was a husky that really liked engagement and liked to play. But as soon as you kind of gave him a more stern command, be like, nah, you know what? No, thank you. So it'd be the difference between Loki, come, come Loki, or Loki, come here, let's go play. Right? So sometimes the way that you say things and that inflection can really help with whether or not the dog wants to listen.
Right.
And some of that too is just our own personalities, right? Some of us just have more of a stern personality when it comes to training and speaking to dogs, and just have a softer one. So the main thing is to figure out what works best for your relationship with them, and then kind of go from there. What works best for me is we're pretty much going to be like best friends, and they just want to do things with me. It's part of like the positive training reinforcement. So most of the time it'll be like with him being so young, it'll be actually like teaching him his name and teaching him to come and things like that, as opposed to like correcting him for when he doesn't come. You know, that part usually comes at the very end after we know that he knows what we're asking, when we actually ask for things, and has enough practice to be able to easily do them.
Right.
But yeah, no, that definitely it definitely makes sense, and it's the same with human behavior too. You know, if you call his name in a stern way, he'd be less inclined to come by to you. But if you called his name as if it was like Valentine's Day and you had something special for him, he's coming running.
Fair enough.
Yeah, dogs are the same way. They do really well with reading off of our body language and facial expressions and our intonation, right? Yeah. The words themselves are for our benefit more than anything else. When we teach them certain words, it's the sounds that they get kind of acquainted with through habit and through practice, than actually learning the word. That's why some dogs will be really good with when you ask them to sit, as opposed to when you do like the visual command for sit.
Okay.
All right. So that might be a good one to practice out.
Darby, sit.
All right. Now get her name again, and then
Darby,
without the verbal
sit.
command, now do like the
Darby.
visual.
Oh, usually, okay.
It's okay. We'll have Dad try.
Sometimes.
Work through.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good girl. Good Darby. Good girl.
Good.
Good girl.
And then we'll try the verbal command again.
Darby, look. Darby.
That way.
Darby, sit.
Very
Good
good.
girl.
Good. And that's how you can differentiate whether or not they're listening to the sound or your hand. Because a lot of times people will do both at the same time. So when we're practicing, sometimes we'll have to separate things from physical to verbal, so that way you can actually know what she's responding to.
Yeah.
And that'll be really important when it comes to things like the recall and her name,
Yeah.
which is only going to be 99% verbal.
Right. Yeah, you can't do a hand signal for that necessarily.
The only other thing that kind of like is close to that is like when people ask their dog to leave it or come, and they automatically pull them away from it at the same time, you know, which is understandable because we don't want them to get into anything that they shouldn't. But if we tell them to leave it and we pull them back at the same time, are they actually leaving it, or are we just pulling them away?
Yeah.
Yeah, leave it is another one that she has.
Yeah. You thirsty?
I've tried to do that one a little bit, but
Yeah.
I haven't had much luck.
It's understandable. It's a hard one for puppies. Usually it's the one you get to practice the most too, like right there, right?
Yeah.
So go ahead and try to ask her to leave it.
Leave it.
Good
Good
girl.
girl.
Good girl. Still interested?
That's really good. Try
Darby,
again.
leave it. Good girl.
Very good. Yeah, good job. Come here.
Good girl. Look. That's good. Look, keep him treat. Yummy. Good girl, Darby.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add to that, because what helps from what I find with working with dogs is adding a recall to the leave it really helps, because you're removing them physically from that temptation.
Yeah.
Because if they're right back there, yeah, it's mostly they'll just ping pong right back to it.
Darby, leave it.
Lots of stuff to get into.
Yeah. Exactly. Thanks.
Oh,
People
try
are being
again.
messy. Darby, leave it.
Right, so physical. Leash pressure here. It's tight.
Darby, leave it.
Darby, leave it. Good.
Good girl.
So it's not even like, well, you'll kind of see there, it's not even with, it goes back to kind of the sit thing, it's not even with the full gesture of the command, it's kind of more like that situational. It's like, oh, he has a treat, he probably wants me to sit for it. So even though I didn't ask and I didn't do the gesture, she still did it.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Your conscience kicking in.
Good girl. Oh, there's another one.
Wow.
There's another one there too.
Did you come in?
Lots of food. Lots of food around here. It's
Yeah.
like the joys of working downtown when there's like pizza crust and chicken wings, things like that. You'll learn to, especially with puppies, you have to kind of really set them up for success and do a lot of preemptive work, right?
Yeah.
When they're walking, just scanning a little bit ahead, so that way you can maneuver them around, or at least be ready to ask them to leave it before it's actually in their mouth. You know, then you're actually working on drop it. You know.
Yeah. Oh, on the greeting thing, I think is also.
Hi.
I don't know. This might be harder just at your house, but it's also just when people come to our house and they're new. So she's like
super excited.
Yeah.
excited. Yeah.
Another one jump.
That's she gets much more excited when it's at like a visitor to our house than.
That's understandable. And what we'll have to do for that is work on more of like the stability, and then sometimes how she greets new people coming in. So something that's helped my clients before in the past is giving them time to calm down and redirect to you and meet the person, because what ends up happening when you're at home and guests knock, immediately that triggers that excitement from them, so they're already like from 0 to 60, and then somebody comes in and they're already at 60 and you're trying to get them back down to 0.
Yeah.
So sometimes having them meet outside, as soon as they get out of the car, they can see them, they get excited, but now you might be able to be further away and try to get their attention back, let them see them, kind of get used to them, slowly go down from 60, maybe take a walk with them for a little bit like we did, you know, and then she gets to smell them and everything, and then have them go into the house together. Right. So like really just extending that moment as opposed to just trying to force her to, like I said, compress that spring. Depends on the pup. That could be something else too.
Yeah.
Well, we'll work on her self-discipline and her stay, but the main thing that you'll still want to pay attention to, and whether or not she'll be successful or if she'll fail, is just watching her, how excited she is. You know, even if she's staying still next to you and they come up, once they come up, if she's still at 60, she's still going to jump on it from excitement, right? So that's why that's more important than anything else. It's just watching her and learning to work with her.
Yeah.
Good girl.
Hi.
Let's go in.
Howdy, Darby. Hello, welcome. Thank you.
Hey, how you doing?
Noises,
What's that?
smells, animals.
Yes, there we go.
Girl. Hi, Darbs. Go this way. Oh. She loves that one.
Favorite toys?
Yeah.
Nice. Does she like playing with balls?
Oh, she does.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah,
good.
and she's like just picking up fetch like half the time, maybe 25% of the time.
Okay.
Just depending on, I guess, what other better alternatives there are.
Yeah, sure. We can definitely work on that.
That's not
Darby. Good girl. Hi. Oh, yeah. There you go. Good job. Go get it. Right? It's just temporary engagement. You can kind of see how, like, just the squeaking and the other random sounds, they just hold more value than her name right now. It's a little disappointing, but, you know, it happens. Go ahead and put that away. Thank you. But that kind of goes to show why you might have, like, difficulties sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Or just getting her attention.
Yeah.
Because, like, all the smells and everything already, like, hold up a higher value. That's a lot of balls under there. But the way you want to try to think of it is, while we're trying to condition her to understanding and responding to her name and building that positive association, kind of being at either pretending that she is a guest dog and working a lot more with touch and line of sight to get her attention.
We were gonna pick up some extra food here because
Oh, perfect. No problem.
Yeah.
I actually have to pick up some too, so that'll work. What we'll do is we'll put her back in the car and we'll do a separate round. That way we'll have our hands free and everything.
Good smells.
Right?
Yeah, she's loves food with all her heart.
Aw. Good job. So right now, think of it like being at a concert with some of your your friends, and even if you're just a couple rows behind them, because the music's so loud in front, you can yell and they won't hear. All the scents and everything is the same thing to a dog. So they're more scent-based, we're more like auditory beings. So all that noise, right, you have to figure out how to cut through, and you can try by either yelling, you know, maybe calling their name so they feel the vibration of their phone, or just kind of walking behind them and tapping them on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Right?
Darby, look at
Very good.
girl,
Perfect.
Good girl.
Good. We'll definitely have to try to practice how to sustain that focus. Because it's already hard enough to get it, but if you lose it right away and it's really hard to get it back, that'll be hard for things like the heel work.
Yeah. She's like, oh, that wasn't worth it. Darby, look. Good
girl. There you go.
Good, my good girl.
And sometimes too, it's just being out here and getting her socialized and used to the environment a little bit more, so it's less of a big deal. Yeah. Sometimes that can take a while, but sometimes it really helps. You'll see it with pups that were like during COVID that never got to go out. And were all over the place, as opposed to like people whose dogs come to the groomers regularly, or live close by and they're always in and out with mom and dad buying treats or things like that.
Darby, look.
Good girl, that way.
Girl, wow. Oh, by the big bone.
She thought about it.
You're cool, but this is a giant bone.
That is really big though. From like a horse or something. Do you have any questions or anything else you wanted to show me or go over before we go back and do like the recall and things like that? Oh, another one we could do.
Yeah.
You can let me know if you think of one. I just thought of one while you were doing it. Sit stay.
Oh yeah, okay.
So let's go over here to the quiet aisle. Let's see how they are. All right, we'll have Dad cover one end of the aisle, and I'll cover the other end.
So we both stay here?
One person stay there, and then one person go the other way. That way they can't like escape from the aisle. All right, so before you go though, you ask her to sit stay.
Darby, sit. Stay. Darby, stay. Stay.
Good. Ah, she did great. There you go.
Girl, that's my angel. Good girl.
Perfect. And we'll do the same thing with Dad on the other side. Oh. We might have to swap aisles.
Are you training in here?
Oh no, it's fine. We can switch to a different one. We're just having her come to us at the end of the aisle. You want to say hi?
Okay.
Good girl.
Training. Oh yeah.
Good
Happy,
girl.
huh?
She's
All right. Beautiful.
Thanks.
Is it a lab?
Yeah.
What kind of dog do you have?
Siberian Husky with the Belgian mix.
Oh, cool.
I tell you, my wife got her about 2 years ago. Didn't seem like there was going to be a lot of work, but then
Oh man, a
Belgian
husky.
comes out and hyper, and to this day,
Tons of
at least
energy.
in the evening, about an hour and a half of just wearing her out, you know.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Fetch, all the things.
Yep. But it's a beautiful thing. They bring so much joy.
Yes, exactly. Worth every
That's
good
awesome.
thing.
All right, Anthony, not getting your way your training. Bye. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
Good boy.
Guys. Oh, sorry.
Have a good one. All right, so now it'll be Dad's turn. We'll go ahead and go this way. So you just ask her to sit, stay, and then
Okay.
come to you that way. That way
Sit.
he can keep shopping and stuff. It's
Sit.
fine. There you go.
Stay. Stay. Stay.
Uh-oh.
Oh, broke a little early.
Loves Dad too much. Uh-oh.
It's all right, we'll try again. Very excited. All right.
I'll sit. Darby. Darby. Sit. Sit.
Come.
Sit. 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 Stay. Stay.
There you go. Good. Ah, she did really good. You can kind of tell when she's going to break early because she loses focus on you, and then she's going to recall well when she's focused on you already too. You can kind of see there. So that's going to be how we kind of work with recall, is getting her attention and then almost reminding her that she can come back to us.
Okay.
As opposed to trying to call her and pull her back in. It's more like winding up that spring by having her sit, stay, and then she's waiting for that release, right? Okay, come, you know, and then she's like, okay.
Yeah, that's fun.
It's just a slightly different approach, but that's how it would kind of work, just like that. It was good though.
Yeah. Lots of sniffs.
Sorry, was there anything that you can think of?
Not, I mean, I think that covers a lot. I guess barking just a teeny bit, like if she wants attention, or if like she'll bark at the other dog, if the other dog has the toy, things like that. Yeah.
That'll be a little bit harder, just because if she's not like overdoing it or nuisance doing it, she's just doing it to get that attention of the other pup. We can try to teach them to paw to do it, but sometimes that's their like initial way of getting it. So the biggest thing for that is to ignore the barking and then only give her attention when she gives you the paw, so she learns to come and tap you as opposed to just stand and bark at you. Sometimes that works, sometimes it can take a while. But we can definitely add that to the list too. I'll see how much of a nuisance barking it is, and sometimes
it's not too bad, but just still, she has a loud voice.
Oh yeah, she's gonna only get bigger too and louder. So sometimes having like an anti-bark collar will be good too, just because it depends on the sensitivity of the dog, but just having some sort of negative repercussion when they bark automatically, and on top of that, they're not getting the attention that you want. Kind of helps to speed up that process. So we'll see how she does. Okay. Well, and if there's anything else that you think of, and you can always just text me or something.
Darby,
too.
leave it. Good girl.
That girl.
Good girl. Good girl, my friend. Okay, that's good. Yeah, this is already very helpful.
It's a good evaluation session. She's definitely she's just definitely a puppy. That's all. At least I don't see anything like anxiety based or anything like that to worry about.
Good, right?
Is there maybe just with recall, like if we go to my parents' house, for example, they don't have a fenced-in yard, so it's harder to control there, I guess. I don't know if there's a different, like maybe once we get the recall going, it'll just be similar, but I don't know if like being in that environment is any different, or if there's anything different you need to worry about.
It depends, because things like open range recall, what I would call it, is something that you would normally just do like from the start. Like puppies that go hunting or on the farm, this is what they're used to. As opposed to her, who's probably been used to coming on the leash and, you know, only recalling when she like needs to because of the pull of the leash. We can do tone training. That will be a good kind of beginner way of getting her to come back, getting her used to hearing that tone on a collar. I'll do that with I have a GPS collar that I use for high flight risk dogs. So we can do that with her and a longer lead to kind of get her used to it. And you can kind of see how that goes. So it's worked with clients before that like to go hiking or have like larger properties. I would still always recommend having them on leash, at least until you get a lot of good practice in. My girlfriend's pup, that was like maybe 2 months worth of work, and like high distraction work, like going to the park when there's squirrels and having her recall back. That was most of why it took so long, because she had a higher prey drive for them.
Yeah.
But it was like we were talking about, like desensitizing her to that environment, getting used to seeing the squirrels, and you know what, coming back for a treat still. You know, letting her chase around till she's tired and come back. That can take a long time, just depending on the dog, because they are working dogs, but they're also very loyal. So you kind of got like the in between, right? Like I said, usually you start work on things like that really early, but she's still pretty young, and some of them also have to be predispositioned towards it too. Like if we find out that she has a high prey drive, then that's something that you're gonna have to really work against to recall her back in if she sees like a rabbit or a deer or something.
Our other dog, it's just high prey drive. She'll be gone for a long time.
And if you're working with something like that, it's just difficult because it's like bred in for like thousands of years.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, no, just ignore it. There's certain like expectations between like parents that, you know, you have to try to temper a little bit for some people. It just depends on the dog. But we'll definitely give that a try too to help you out. And then I can offer you some devices that could help too.
Yeah.
Just doing like search and rescue for some pups too in the downtime. It's always better safe than sorry. Unfortunately, a lot of those things require subscriptions for like the GPS collars, but you know, $5 or $10 a month for peace of mind really isn't too much. And then you can always cancel too after you think that the recall is solid. So that's distracted by all the people. Good girl. Okay. Does she have any favorite treats or anything else?
We brought some Zooks, a bag of Zooks for you.
Okay.
She'll eat literally anything.
I gotcha. Yeah, most labs do.
Yeah.
I usually use like the freeze-dried treats for higher value. But we'll mix in the Zooks too, and we'll see if she likes peanut butter. Soft, crunchy treats, sometimes like jerky, so just to speed things up, we want to try to find something that really she holds a high value, because then she'll want to work more for it. You know, it'd be the same as, you know, getting paid $50 an hour as opposed to 25. Usually we still need the money either way, but you know, I take that 50 instead. All right, cool. We'll go ahead and pause the video, and we'll load her up, and we'll buy stuff, and then we'll meet up at the place for the last part, which is the longer range recall. Let's see how she is on there. And then we'll drop her off.
Sounds good.
Very busy this time of year.
Yeah.
All right, if you want to go ahead and put that on her. Tie that later.
Should I unclip her regular?
Yeah. Alright, first thing we're going to do is see what her kind of natural drift is. What I mean by that is some dogs, when they have unlimited leash, they'll just go and go and go and like never look back and never wonder where we are. Right now she's doing really good. Hi. You know, some dogs, especially puppies, when they're still in more of that like maternal bond, they kind of stick close to you.
I do feel like that's it's maybe only temporary that she's.
So it makes it like easier for a head start though, because you kind of continue promoting that behavior.
Okay. Yeah. Here.
Sorry, this is always the fun part of owning these kind of leashes. I went from a 50 or a 100 to a 50 to a 30 for this reason.
What's this device? What's this contraption?
Might not even untangle it all the way, I think.
What is that? Umbrella.
Just kind of naturally let her wander for a little bit. Luckily, it's a little bit quieter in the court right now. Head over to the field here. And so different environments too. We were talking about before with the dog park kind of being like the Super Bowl. Well, also, oh, she's thirsty. Gotta get her some water when we go in. Will help determine how easy or how difficult it is to get her attention. So right now, kind of like in the neighborhood environment, go ahead and start walking the opposite way of her. And we'll just kind of see whenever she notices, if she does, right? And then if she'll come back on her own. Very good. Good girl.
Darby. Appreciate it.
Very good.
Good girl. Thank you so much. So good to see you.
Good girl. And here's a treat for you as well.
Good girl, Darby. Look. Good girl.
I'll give you a couple more
Okay.
in case she comes back for us later. And you can always break those in half or something too. So a little bit bigger. Good. All right. Now we'll just kind of walk this way for a little bit.
Good girl, Darby.
She's doing good. The first exercise, and it'll kind of coincide with her name work, is as soon as she starts to kind of go a little bit too far away from us and trying to drift off, say her name and turn around, do like 180.
Okay.
And we'll have her follow us that way.
Darby.
Right? Come on, you got it. Right, so you kind of see a little bit of the track. Perfect. Now when she gets to you, go ahead and give her that praise and that reward and good stuff.
Good girl, Darby. Good girl.
Very good.
Good girl.
Okay. Here we might need to move over to the side for a moment. Dad, if you want to catch her a little bit of a closer lead, or I'll just step on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I wonder if they park here. I think they might actually park here. You go out loud a little bit more.
Okay. So what are we doing on this one?
Oh, we're just waiting for them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Good girl. So far, so good. That's kind of just going over some of the practice drills. See how much work she needs. So that was really good. You can kind of tell when she saw some people, got a little distracted, but she recovered.
Yeah.
You know, which is good. And then the last bit will be to kind of do the same thing, but out in the field,
Okay.
where there's going to be more smells on the ground.
Okay.
Usually that's going to be where a lot of pups start kind of failing, drifting away.
Yeah.
So let's try to get her to follow us. We might have to hold the leash closer. We'll see. We'll try again. Good girl. Good job. Come here. Yeah. So far though, she's great temperament for sticking with you off leash. The hard part's always like the distractions though, you know?
That's okay. Well.
There you go. Oh yeah, I'll probably need to put on the footy. There we go. Alright, so we're just gonna cut through in between the two homes here.
Okay. Good loyal girl.
She's doing good.
Loyal girl.
Good. I'll give a couple treats to Dad too.
Okay. Oh yeah, alright. I
yeah.
Oh, you got it.
I'll grab it.
Gotcha.
Oh,
Oh,
Ah, perfect.
uh-oh.
Right?
Thank you.
So that brings on like a good point in why we practice in like different environments.
Right.
So that way we can remind them that we have something that they want even
Yeah.
out here. Well, it's good that she's got that drive for it. Sad, of
Hey.
course, that she's too excited and jumping, but
Yeah.
you know, that's something to work on. It's like the better of two evils right now, because we want her to be super excited to follow us,
Yeah.
but not so excited that she's jumping for a treat,
Yeah.
right? So that's why it's going to be really important when handling those kind of situations to not overcorrect. And, like we scold her and like discourage her to the point of like she's not, you know, she doesn't want to engage,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, uh-oh.
It's usually a pretty easy one to balance out.
Can we say leave it now or?
Oh no, that's fine. We'll just kind of let her start drifting off on her own, right? it's better that she is so infatuated with the food and something that we have. Okay, this is just annoying. So that way we can easily remind her that we have something. So like right now when she starts drifting, go ahead and say her name.
Darby. Darby.
And then give her a treat. Perfect.
Good.
Oh.
Oh, right here. Right here.
Good. All right. And then we'll try again. And this time let her drift a little bit further. Very good. Good girl.
Good Darby. Good girl.
Very good. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead and reward that. Good job. Yeah, she's doing good.
Good girl, Darby.
So, good thing is she's not like a high flight risk or anything,
Yeah.
right? She's not like one of those dogs I was telling you about. She'll just catch a sniff on the ground and just go,
Yeah.
like continuously.
Good girl, Darby.
Well,
Our other
unfortunately,
dog
we
is
don't
like
have
that.
any critters or anything
Yeah.
like that to kind of really test the prey drive on that. But I'm sure, good girl.
Buddy.
We'll come across a situation and we'll do a recording session. So I'll let you know if that's a problem later.
Okay.
Good girl, Darby.
But now we'll just kind of test the long range
Good girl.
recall. So we'll just kind of let her get distracted by some smells or something, and then we'll call her back. I call her back in.
You don't have anything. It's not for you. No distractions now.
Right. I can go get one. We'll see if she breaks kind of off on her own and goes back to smelling or not. Yeah, she's doing great though.
Yeah.
It's good that you have such a treat motivated dog.
Yeah.
It's just
Makes
It's
it
Darby,
easier.
perfect angel.
yeah. And you have to just kind of keep that in mind too, because we'll go over like weaning off of the treats because she's so driven by it. It's almost like a lure for her to perform right now, whereas like we want her to perform first
Hey.
and then get rewarded, because right now she's like so fixated on the treats that it wouldn't matter what's going on outside
Yeah.
or around, which is fine until you don't have treats.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's the thing.
This is Sugar. She's not actually in training. It's just the only harness I had.
Hi, Sugar. Hi, sweetie. Hi, sweetie. That was so cute.
Aww.
Oh, we're gonna
So
have
definitely very playful, huh?
yeah.
He's gonna have a good time with the pack, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know, that's a cute dog. Oh.
Good girl. Go ahead and try to call him back to you.
Darby, come. Darby. Darby. Uh-oh. Darby. Darby.
Darby, come.
Darby.
Darby.
Right.
come.
So this
Yeah.
is
Darby.
so that's the level
Sit.
kind of where
Sit.
he
No,
starts
hey.
falling apart a little
Yeah.
bit. And I think a lot of that too will just come from that name reconditioning.
Well, she jumped on me.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay, Darby. Ouch, ouch. And yeah, big ol'
We'll work on that too.
big ol' gulp.
But you can kind of see why, like, if her name doesn't hold enough value and it's too hard to get her attention with her name, then it's really hard for that recall part. So it's actually, I think, more so because she wants to stay with us, especially when she knows that she can get a treat or she knows where we are. It's more just getting her attention back,
Yeah.
right? So I think it's right now it's more like just that name recognition than anything else. Putting some high value to that name. Very good. There you go. Good girl, Sugar.
Darby.
Good girl.
Darby. 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 The wrong one.
Right.
Sound's not coming further. Darby.
There you go. Almost.
Darby. Darby, come here. Oh. Darby, come here.
That's okay. At least, yeah. So, right, without any distractions and the prospect of somebody else having a treat or something, she actually does really well, which is good. Unfortunately, the real world's going to be full of those distractions. So it's going to be more of getting that exercise in and working through, what are you eating? Working through different environments. Come here, sugar.
Now you pay attention to me.
There you go.
Good girl, Darby. Hi. Hi. Good Darby.
Yeah, so definitely some name reconditioning.
Good girl.
Adding a lot of value to that.
Yeah.
And then just working through distractions.
Yeah.
Other pups. Okay. Hi, I know.
Thank you, Sugar, for providing the distraction.
You just needed a little something, right? There you go. Oh, we got another distraction. Hi, how you doing? Sorry.
Darby. Oh, sorry.
You might want to. Sorry. Go ahead and grab.
Come here. Okay. You stay. Hey. You stay. Okay.
Come on, guys. He's just taking out the trash here. Let's go around this way so that way he doesn't jump on him.
You're jumping. You're naughty. Hey.
You can let it go. Yeah. So that will be another thing, right? So when we have them on leash and we're using that to kind of help prevent them from going up to people and jumping,
Yeah.
then that verbal part definitely isn't strong enough. You can kind of see that there.
Yeah.
Because we've probably been holding back to try to help out. Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's really hard to do, especially, like I said, if she's not used to responding immediately or at all to her name, and you try to get her name so she can listen to a command.
Yeah.
So yeah, it all kind of goes down a certain order of operations. It's kind of like math. You got to work on the first levels before you can keep going up. But once she gets it, once she gets it, I think that in and of itself will help you guys a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good girl. There you go. Good job.
Good girl.
Sugar's like, wait, somebody's giving treats.
I know, Sugar.
Good girl.
You're sweet.
Here you go.
You're sweet. Needle.
You guys have any questions or anything else before we kind of call it?
No, I think
so.
this has been really helpful.
Yeah, really excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely have a good bit of work ahead of us, but I think she'll make good progress.
Yeah, glad we're doing the 3 weeks. So
Hopefully incorporate the tone training then, and then like the collar and stuff, and I'll give you a few ideas and some products that might work well for you, and that way we can go from my GPS unit to yours, so that way she gets used to like the tone or the vibrate or whatever that you get on it.
Gotcha.
Because usually they adjust pretty well, but it'd be good to have her just learning off of the same one that you'll be using.
interesting.
But yeah.
Okay.
Right,
and then what we'll do is, after kind of the initial first part of the training and everything, hopefully you guys can meet up with me again with the unit or the collar, and then we'll kind of go over how sensitive she is to certain things. Like Loki is a good example. The tone, could care less. The vibrate, he could care less. The shock, he needed like up really high for him to even notice anything. And the pup before that, the vibration was almost too much, and they were really sensitive to the tone. So we always start on, of course, the most sensitive and train them first, and then you have those other things in case you know of a higher distraction or something like that. But we just want to evaluate to make sure that it's not overkill and it's not scaring them or hurting them or anything like that. But we'll go over all that stuff later on.
Bye, Miss Darby. Okay, you have fun. Learn a lot. Learn a lot. Good girl. Good girl.
Like,
You're a good girl. We're proud of you already. All right, thanks, TJ. We'll see you soon in a couple weeks.
Yeah, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah, sounds good.
Have a good one.
All right, you too. Bye.
Bye. Oh, I know. We gotta get you some water. Good girl. She likes you, Fiona. What do you think, huh? Come on, let's go. You excited? Good girl. Good job. Come on. Get your at least tangled up a lot, huh? She always lady, Darby. She always lady. Good girl, good Kiki. Darby, come on. We'll get you some more water this way. Oh, that car coming. Okay, let's go. Fiona. That's a good girl. Darby. Darby, come. Come here, Darby. Good job. Hey, that's it. You gotta work on you being gentle. Gentle. There you go. Thank you. Good job. So she seems to really like the other pups. Let's try to play with them. Lilo and Fiona both will probably warm up later over time. Sometimes Lilo will play with others. That's this girl here. Most of the time she likes to stick to herself, but both are really good at correcting puppies and letting them know not to annoy them appropriately if that's the case. But everything seems to be going well so far. Only minor adjustment I've made so far is just the fact that she kept getting tripped up and tangled up on the easy walk. So we just adjusted to her normal collar for now. Play around with different things, see how that works for her. Yeah, so far so good. Did well on all the walks meeting the pups. And we'll try to add in maybe some clips of them settling in for you as well. It's so loud, baby. Oh, thank you. Oh, God. You're so noisy. What? Look at Fiona. Look at that smile. Come here. What? Is he being too much, Casey? Is he being too much? Is she being too much? Oh my gosh. Oh, look, she wants to play with you. Woo. Come here. Come here. Look at Lilo over there. Look at her. What? What? She said no zoom. She said no zoom. Gotta open up a bigger space for that. Hold on. Lilo. Thank you. Hubble book. There you go. Get it. Good job. Oh. Got it. Oh. Nice thing. Oh, good luck, little one. I know. Oh, yeah. I'll help you. Come on, let's get her. Yeah, let's get her. Oh. Did you get a piece? Is that what you got? There you go. Good job. Oh, we lost it. I know. Hold on. I got it. Okay. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Oh my goodness. Look at Darby holding her own. You can tell her, Darby. Tell her. You tell her we're sharing. Yeah. Oh, you get it, big girl. Oh, yeah. Casey.